What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my Week 8 picks. So last week was a Patreon exclusive week, and it paid off for my patrons. We were 11-3 against the spread last week. We are now 31-11 against the spread in the last 3 weeks. We picked our one upset correctly last week. We go 12-2 overall last week. So after a slow start to this year, really paying off for those that held true with me. Hoping to keep this thing hot this week. A reminder, if you do want to get in on the action here, there is a referral link to Bovada where I do my gambling. Of course, guys, gamble responsibly, but if you do want to get in on the action, follow that link. It will give you a match on your first deposit worth a free bet for half of whatever you put in. So, without further ado, let's get into the picks here, starting with the Thursday night game. We've gotten lucky with some good Thursday night games as of late, but this one probably will not meet those entertainment standards. You got Brock Osweiler, the not-so revenge game in Houston here. I am going to take Houston. I just think they have way more talent, way more playmakers. I think they cover as well. They're 7.5-point favorites in this one. So I'm going to take Houston 27-17. I think the only way Houston doesn't really control this game is if they have one of those weird Texans, like, unable to tackle type of games that they seem to have once or twice a year. And they do seem to happen on primetime. So, you know, I'm not fully confident in this one, but there really is no reason Houston shouldn't take care of business tonight. And then we got Philly at, London against the Jags. Philly, we thought they were kind of heating up with that Giants game, but they were unable to close against Carolina. The way Jacksonville's offense operates is, they're going to really have more success against a poor secondary where their receivers can win some matchups, and I think we might see some of that in this one. But that said, I am going to take Philadelphia, just the better team overall. I'm not sure they cover in this one, and I don't feel super confident in this. I don't think Jacksonville wins, but if Philly just dominated Jacksonville, I wouldn't be terribly surprised. Jacksonville also has the experience traveling to London, so they get a bit of a nod there. I think it turns into a pretty close game, but I am going to take Philly 21-20. Next, we got Seattle at Detroit. Don't feel good about this one either, but I'm going to take Seattle on kind of a hunch here. They gave Detroit 3 points at home, so they're basically saying these teams are equally matched. I just have a feeling, and Seattle, they really do play much better against the teams that don't have that great pass rush. I know they traded, Detroit did for Damon Harrison, but he is a run-stopping nose tackle, not really a pass rusher. I still think Detroit has one of the worst pass rushes in the entire NFL. So I think Seattle's going to be able to do some things offensively. Obviously, Detroit will as well. They've got a good offense themselves. Could go either way, but I'm going to take Seattle in an upset there. I forgot to put the logo next to it, so my apologies about that. Now we've got Washington at the New York Giants. The Giants are just a train wreck right now. Washington keeps finding ways to win games. They're much better at home than they are on the road, so this could get a little sloppy. I'm going to take Washington. I can't bring myself to pick the Giants, but just medium confidence on that. 27-20 Washington. Denver at Kansas City. Really not much to say here. I just don't think Denver has the firepower to keep up with Kansas City in Arrowhead. I'm going to take the Chiefs 30-19. Denver did make Mahomes a little uncomfortable the first time they played. Maybe they can get back to that, but in Kansas City, I am just not going to bet against the Chiefs right now. Baltimore at Carolina. Really surprised to see Carolina actually underdogs in their own stadium and 2-point underdogs at that. So Vegas actually thinks Baltimore is a much better team in this game, but I don't trust Baltimore, especially on the road offensively. I think Cam Newton will be able to do some things. Carolina's defense stops the run, which is going to force Baltimore to pass, which is not ideal. So it should be a pretty close contested game. Could really go either way, but I'm going to take Carolina, the home team here, in an upset 23-20. I know we've got Cleveland at Pittsburgh, the first game that I can talk with some confidence here. I just think Pittsburgh's much better. They have an identity offensively. They're playing better defensively. Cleveland not playing well right now. So I think Pittsburgh at home really takes care of business in this one. I'll take Pittsburgh and the cover, 31-20. Now we got the New York Jets at the Bears. Jets are a hard team to get a beat on right now. They had 2 convincing wins in a row. and then really just couldn't hold their own against Minnesota. So now they got to go on the road in Chicago. It's going to be a tough game for Sam Darnold. There's probably going to be a lot of turnovers in this game on both sides of the ball. I do think the Jets will cover this game. It's a 7.5-point spread, but I am going to take the Bears to win this one in Chicago. Now we've got Tampa Bay at Cincinnati. Another high-confidence game here. Cincinnati, a bounce-back week after the embarrassing night against the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. Bengals are a good football team. Don't think I can say the same about Tampa Bay. Not sure this is going to be much of a contest. I'll take the Bengals 30-21. And then the Colts at the Raiders, who are just blowing everything up. The Raiders really have nothing to play for right now. Meanwhile, the Colts, coming off a big win last week against Buffalo, I think they believe they are better than a 2-5 team. I believe that as well. They are looking at this division that is not over yet. I know the Colts are 2-5, but they win this. They're just like a game and a half behind Houston, probably at 2 games, but they still got to play them. So they're not out of the race yet. They know that. I think the Colts win very convincingly. This is about as close of a lock as I have on the week. I will definitely be putting money on the Colts in this game, who are starting to get a little healthier as well. And then we got Green Bay at the Rams. Really looking forward to this one. I am going to take the Rams to win this one, but I do think that the spread is too much. I will take Aaron Rodgers getting 9 points any day of the week. I don't care who they're playing. You know, this could be 30-17 and Rodgers scores a late touchdown to cover the 9 points. I just think it's too much. Green Bay coming off the bye, really the healthiest roster they're going to be putting out all year. I think they'll make this much more competitive. And if they pulled the upset here late in this game, I wouldn't be stunned. I'm not going to pick it to happen. The Rams are just a buzzsaw right now, especially, you know, the Green Bay's got to go on the road in this one. But I will say at plus 315 on the money line, Green Bay is a little tempting this week, and I really like them on that spread. Now we've got the 49ers at the Cardinals. I mean, you guys decide. Like, I don't know. I switched the logo on this game 3 times. I have no idea who wins this game. Don't bet this game. Don't use it in a survivor pool. It's gross. I don't want to watch this game, but I have to. I'm going to take the Cardinals 20-19. I guess it's an upset. I just don't care. Both these teams stink and are just unwatchable. But I guess give me the home team. Now we've got the Saints at the Vikings. Game of the week for sure. Vikings getting Everson Griffin back. That is huge. I can't stress that enough. But Xavier Rhodes is out here. It's, you know, I'm not very high on Xavier Rhodes, but they also are out Mike Hughes. The cornerback depth is a serious issue for Minnesota right now. You know, I thought it was a problem to start the year, but then you start getting injured. And the Saints here with another tough road game. They had to go into Baltimore last week. But I am going to take the Saints to pull it off. I just think they're hotter and healthier right now. Now, the Vikings certainly could win this game. It is incredibly difficult to win in that stadium. That is going to be rocking on a Sunday night. So I don't think there's going to be a blowout, and I think it could actually go either way, but I am going to take the Saints, take the better quarterback, the better offense, and possibly the better defense right now. Although Everson Griffin could easily flip that. Next up, and lastly, New England at Buffalo. I thought the 14 points was a little dramatic, but we are talking about the Bills, who have just been devastated lately. And, you know, the Patriots are pretty hot. So I'm not going to pick the Patriots to cover entirely. I'm going to pick them to win by exactly 14 points, which is the spread, 27-13. Not much else to really say about that game. I don't see an upset, but, you know, Buffalo, I've been saying all year, can play spoiler at home. Prime times, weirder things have happened, like Buffalo going into Minnesota and winning as a 17-point underdog earlier this year. I don't think it happens, but keep an eye on it. I don't know. I don't think it'll happen, but it could. So those are the Week 8 picks. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. Cheers as always, guys. We'll see you next time.